Hello everybody. I'm coming to you live, well, at the time of this recording, all the way from the beautiful EU country, European country of Germany. And I decided to do it this way because when I did the calculations for the time difference, this is supposed to be a relaxation / meditation video kind of thing, and it's usually good to do it first thing in the morning when you wake up. The only thing is I'd be coming to you in my pajamas ready for bed. So, and you guys would just be getting on with your day. So I decided to do it this way, and hopefully this way it'll help as well, because I've noticed lately with a lot of live viewing that so many people are on the internet at the same time that sometimes you get bumped off and things like that, and it's kind of hard. So I think it would be easier to try it this way. Of course, I don't know what I'm doing, so I guess first time for everybody. This is probably the, whatever day you started your shelter in place isolation, but it's week 3, and as a whole in this community, the expats here, the military here, we've been just kind of following suit with what's been happening. So this is officially like week 3, and it seems like it's been longer because every day things change here. Every day there's a new thing to learn. We've gone from self-distancing from like 1 meter to 1.5 meters, which is almost like, I think, 6 feet, something like that. So things like this make it drag out. And I remember marking it off on my calendar this week and realizing, gosh, it's only been 3 weeks. So hang in there. There's lots of great people like you guys out there who are streaming this throughout all the different theaters all over the world, and performers who are just giving their gift and sharing their talents. There's painting classes that you can do. There's even master classes and meditation classes with Deepak and Oprah that you can do online now. So it's wonderful to be able to use the internet in this way to stay connected. So I wanted to show you a little bit about where I live and explain to you a little bit about that. So we're going to pan the camera the other way so you can just take a look at my little village, and I can tell you where I live, and you can put me on a dot somewhere on a map, and then we'll get started. So what you're looking at here is my little village, about 25 miles from the major city, which is Stuttgart in Germany. It's very Bavarian here, if you think about it. Very rustic, I'd like to say. And there's all kinds of places to go, lots of trails, and fun places to go on a walk. You don't really need any kind of a map or any kind of a sat nav or anything like that, because I'll tell you, the first time I lived here, I got lost with the dog. My husband had given me these landmarks to follow on this road, and I followed along, and things were placed in a different way. I guess they had changed or something from one day to another, like, you know, this cart that was laid in the middle of a road that forks. So anyways, I remember being really frustrated because my phone wasn't working out where I was, and I was really getting desperate because I thought, well, I don't really have any landmarks. These roads just connect and they go on forever, so I don't even know if I'm looking south, east, west, or north. And so what ended up happening is I started hearing some bells, and I started going in the direction of where the bells were coming from. Every city or town here has a church of some kind with bells that automatically work and will ring. And so as soon as I got there, I started recognizing kind of like what my village looked like, and I ended up walking back just fine. Okay, so I told you my little story about where I am, and hopefully you're all thinking of me because I think of all of you. The weather lately here has been really great. It did snow on Sunday, and I heard from some friends that are stationed in Japan that it actually snowed there too, like the middle of the day. So it wasn't cold. It wasn't wintry, it was more of a spring look, and some people captured it on film and posted, which I thought was really cool. I guess nature itself is trying to rebalance itself as well as we are by trying to stay safe during this time. Right now what I want to do is just kind of get you to decide where in your house or where outside you might enjoy practicing your breathing and get started in kind of a small relaxation exercise that we're going to do today. It's going to be concentrating on the word gratitude. I listed about 5 things, and we're going to go through them during your meditation. But the rest of this time I wanted to kind of show you probably kind of how to regulate our breathing. I don't think sometimes we realize when we're agitated, or even when we're rushing from place to place, how our breathing changes and how that also affects our ability to kind of like keep our brain clear, keep it clutter free, to keep concentration going in times when it's really, really difficult and your anxiety level's already like up to here. Right now, we're probably going through different phases of what we can deal with mentally, emotionally, physically. Even our sleep patterns might be all messed up. We might be doing things that we normally wouldn't be doing if we could get out more often or be around our friends or do our regular schedule that we've had to completely change, almost like 360, I'm sure. So basically what I like to do is I like to find a spot anywhere, and sometimes I've even done this in my car. So just so you know, any quiet private place would work. If you want to turn on music, you can. If you just go to wherever you feel the safest, or where you feel that you can just be yourself without worrying about what everyone else is going to think, or if people are going to see you, or if someone's going to notice something that is not right about you, whether it's a family member, a friend, or your spouse, or whatever. And basically just get in that mindset. You can sit comfortably in a chair, you can sit on the floor, you can basically sit anywhere. I'm sitting actually on my table, my massage table, and I just wanted to kind of show you that what you need to concentrate on is to completely empty your mind of any distractions, and you want to kind of sit and feel where you are. Is there an ache here? How did you get that sprain? Why is there a pain in your side? Whatever it is, just notice your body for a couple of seconds. Take a small little mental note of how you're feeling physically. Where are you? Are you present now? Are you distracted about something? And then I want you to kind of just reset. And the way we do that is, I want you to sit up as straight as you can. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure your feet are flat on the floor if you're sitting down. Make sure there's good support on your back. And I want you to kind of just slowly, slowly concentrate on how you're breathing. Breath is so important. We're going to regulate our breathing, which means we don't normally breathe like this, but this is going to get you into the proper mindset of breathing. First thing we're going to do is remember the count of 4. You're going to exhale for 4 breaths, and then you're going to hold it for 4, and then you're going to exhale 4 breaths, and you're going to hold that for 4. So basically we're going to do it 4 times, but we're going to remember the number 4. So inhale on the count of 4. When you do this, you're going to breathe in through your nose. And when you exhale, you're going to exhale through your mouth. Because what we're trying to do is get that bad air out and get the good air in and open it up. I don't know if some of you sometimes when you get to this point, I know I've done it many times, before the aches and pains start, or the tightness in our neck, or the stiffness or something in our shoulders, what happens is, and we tend to cut off our oxygen to our body. And so we're technically hyperventilating because we're not getting enough air, and the carbon dioxide, the bad air, is not leaving our body. And we're trying to put more good air in there, and after a while, you start feeling like a shortness of breath. We do it so many times, and it's so subconscious that we don't realize that this is what's happening. So what we're going to do is, I want you to sit down, and as you breathe, as you exhale, imagine like a little string that's running through your belly button, and it's kind of collapsing your tummy up against your spine, the back of your spine, okay? Now when you breathe in, I want you to take your shoulders and scrunch them up as high as you can to your ears. Don't do anything forceful or tight, but as you breathe that in and make sure you fill in your whole diaphragm area. So I'm going to demonstrate. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to hold it for 4, 2, 3, 4. When you exhale, we're going to exhale through our mouths. 2, 3, 4. And as your shoulders go down, you're going to feel that string being pulled for a count of 4. Okay? So let's try it again. This time I'm going to count you down as you do it. Remember, you inhale for 4. As your shoulders come up, hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale, and as your shoulders come down, 4, you're feeling that little string pulling through. And then we're holding for 4. So I want you to get prepared to do that in a couple minutes. And then we're going to close our eyes and do it for a count of 4. Now after that, you're just going to concentrate on inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. You don't have to hold it for 4 anymore. It's a rhythmic pattern that you start. And just basically making sure that during those 4 breaths that we're doing where we're holding
for 4 each time in between the inhale and the exhale. We're just basically making sure our body is restarting. Once it restarts, we just want to breathe. Then you definitely need to breathe. So breathe in through your nose and then exhale through your nose as well. If you can't close your eyes, I've given you something to focus on while you hear the sound of my voice. I'd like you to totally sit with yourself for a moment. Check in with how you're feeling. Now that question doesn't just cover how you're physically feeling. How are you feeling emotionally? Have you had to be strong for somebody or for other people? And have you been able to hide that? Is it getting hard to hide the fact that you're scared too? Besides, how do you feel physically? Mentally, has it just been a lot? A lot of worries, a lot of stress? Now, while you're trying that breathing, inhaling for a count of 4, just take in all of that. How does other people see me? How do I see myself? What are my worries? Hold for 4. Now, as you exhale, release it all. On the count of 4, push all of those worries aside. Hold for 4. Inhale again for a count of 4. Feel those shoulders not so heavy anymore as you're still keeping them up high towards your ears. Hold for 4. Slow counts. Exhale for 4. Slow count. 3 and 4. Remember those worries and those concerns. Some of them are controllable, but many are not. Inhale again for 4 through the nose. Hold for 4. And exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Last time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Push all that air. 2, 3, 4. And hold. Now, as you begin to just regulate your breathing, remember we're inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. No longer any need to hold the breath. Feel that diaphragm when you inhale, just really fill with air now. There's nothing bad in there, so you should be able to take a nice deep breath. And when you exhale, you should have felt your shoulders just dropping and you suddenly go lighter as we're replacing those burdens with more ways to kind of combat that. We're going to concentrate today on practicing gratitude. There are actually 5 ways in which we can practice this. It helps us be more present. It helps us look for opportunities to make our lives better, treat ourselves better, deal with others and other problems or outside problems better. Think about yourself. Who are you really? Yes, you might be a parent, you might be a husband or wife, you might be a daughter or son. You also may be a very funny person. You might also be a very private person or very sensitive, but you have a big heart. Ask yourself, what do you want at this moment? Do you want praise? Do you want justice? Do you want acceptance, respect? What is your purpose here? Are you here to entertain people? Are you here to be loved or to love others? We can answer so many of these questions kind of the same way. We want all those things, not just one particular thing. How are we going to pay it forward, give of ourselves The most important thing when we are having stress and struggling is to remember that we have to be present in the here and now, not the what ifs or even living in the past of the woulda, coulda, shoulda. And there's a couple ways to actually do this. Gratitude practice is a way of opening ourselves to appreciation and hopefully to the possibility of whatever life holds for you. What we did earlier and the breathing that we're concentrating on now is called breath of thanks. It's slowing ourselves down. It's putting ourselves in the present moment. During this breathing, after you've blown all the bad air out and you've regulated and restarted your body and your mind, you're now going to practice the mantra, I am thankful. If your mind is still wandering, a good thing to do is just to imagine a place where you like to go. Maybe it could be a cabin or a beach house or some place where you used to go as a child or where you'd like to eventually escape to if you ever get the chance to retire. Sit where you're comfortable. Be there in the moment, present moment with yourself. Now with every inhale on a count of 4, you're going to say, I am thankful. Sometimes to give us an idea of what we could be thankful for. On some days, I'll be honest with you, it's really hard for me to even think of one. Maybe it's just because you got up and made your bed, got dressed. Maybe it could be just going outside after days and days of rain and seeing the sunshine. Besides acknowledging what you're grateful for, it's always a good thing to write things down. It helps us commit that memory. And those of you who are writers probably like that idea because you write a lot of things down. I remember once going to the supermarket and saying, oh, I forgot to write this down. I've got to remember to get this. And you get through the cashiers and you get your groceries home, and as you're unpacking, you finally remember what it was that you forgot that you needed to write down and didn't get a chance to. So when you wake up and you have that opportunity to name whatever that is, I'm grateful for the beautiful sunlight that allowed me to go out in my patio, enjoy the warmth of the sun on my body. Writing it down is really important to us. I am grateful for the wonderful sunshine. Thank you. What do you appreciate about what it was that you're thankful for, you're grateful for? I appreciated how it warmed my body and for its healthy energy that it restored in me. Thank you for the gift of the sun. Now think of one thing that you want to name that you are thankful for. What did you appreciate about it? Number 3, observation. Sometimes we need to slow ourselves down and center ourselves in order to observe the smallest little thing. As I was watering my plants today out in the sun, I noticed a mother bird came flying at me from this fern that was hanging on this potted plant. And I immediately realized that she had built a little nest in there. So she was warning me that she needed me to stand back and away from her home where she was getting ready to start her family. I just stopped for a moment and realized, wow, that's just amazing. In the midst of everything that's going on in life, life is still happening all around us. It could be you sitting down right now in your living room or somewhere in your safe place, and you can have your pet with you, and you think, wow, to them you're their hero all the time. Observing this, acknowledge how grateful you feel for that experience. Number 4, surprise. Observation leads to surprise. You know, sometimes we get stuck and we feel like we've slammed up against a concrete wall and you just don't know how you're supposed to feel, how you're supposed to get out of this rut. That's the best time to practice the element of surprise. You focus on that wonder, and in discovering the wonder, we make ourselves feel more alive. The surprise when she came at me, it was amazing. I didn't feel threatened in any way. I felt really bad because I thought, what have I done? Did her nest fall out of a tree or a bush? It made me happy that I spotted it. Number 5, awakening the senses. What are some of the activities that you do today or now that you currently that help you utilize your senses? Taking a walk, that cup of tea in the afternoon, taking 5 minutes for yourself, or that morning cup of coffee in the morning. Anything that places us or our attention on one or more of our senses. So when we journal and write all these experiences down, we can expand the writing by journaling also what sense we used. Here's an example. Today, I am grateful for my sight. How I spotted a mother bird who had made her nest in my favorite hanging pot. I'm grateful for the opportunity to sense the warmth of the sun as it warmed me and revitalized me. Enjoying the beautiful day on my patio. I'm also grateful for the gift of hearing the various birds that were singing during the day and the opportunity to hear her mother bird as she was warning me to be careful and not to water my plant. So there you have it. The breath of thanks, the mantra, I am thankful for, or I am grateful for, naming your gift and writing it down. Observing, really stopping, looking, hearing, sensing, waiting for something new, something different, the element of surprise. And observing how we are experiencing these observations. Which of the 5 senses are we using? Now stay here for as long as you like. And when you're ready, find your way back to the present and the here and now and where you are, where you started from. If you can remember to implement at least one of these things each and every day, don't overwhelm yourself, but just catch yourself. When things get tough, when we don't understand why we're feeling the way we are, remember to stop, breathe. You'll get through it. We all will. And remember the here and now, that you matter. There you have it, my friends. Just a small little gift from me to you, hoping you'll pass it on and keep paying it forward and hang in there because we can get through this together. And until next time, namaste.